promise I'm gonna have a theme song.
Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys,
and TV and movies too.
I don't know. That might need some more work.
And TV and movies too. That's the best part.
All right. Welcome everybody. It's the Toy Duo, and there really is a duo here today. We'll see if anybody decides to jump in. But anyways, you're watching the Toy Duo, and we're going to talk about all things action figures, Star Wars, Marvel, Mezco, McFarlane, anything we can think of, and maybe some stuff we are not going to think of. But I just want to let you know that memberships are now available on my channel again. So if you want to join and become a member, you want to super chat, you want to do all that stuff, you can do it again now that YouTube has finally decided to let me back into the partner program after removing me for no reason whatsoever. But anyways, I'm sure they had their reason. So Eric's with me today. How you doing, Eric?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good. Everything's good. Let's say hi to some people in the chat before we get started. Gap is saying he's first, but he said he might be asleep by the time we start, but he just wanted to say hello. Got Jonathan Redmond. He jumped in second and started saying hello. Oh, look, Mr. B is here. You got Ray Paz has joined us saying, hey, fellas.
How's it going?
Rolando. You know what? I always said Rolando, but it's Rolando. And I heard somebody else say it, and I was like, man, I guess I got to put my glasses on because I'm really not seeing those letters in there. That is an A and not an O. And then Gerard Kane is here so far. So we'll see who else joins us as we continue on with the show.
Cool.
So what have you been up to?
Not opening all of the toys that have been coming in like day after day.
So you got your big pile of shame.
I have never, once I got engaged in the collecting community and I'd see people's like piles of shame in the background, I'm like, how could you do that? Now I'm that guy. I just I understand.
How can you not open your stuff?
I understand now. I've got like the Batman movie 6-pack here. I've got a new lightsaber. I've got a whole bunch of other Black Series and Legends and TVC stuff behind me. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it just all of a sudden, like, you get one thing and you're like, oh, I'm gonna open that on Saturday, and then before Saturday comes, there's like 7 more things. You're like, what's going on? Especially now.
I am glad though. I finished the 30th anniversary collection for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Lightning collection ones with the floor effects or whatever.
Yes.
So I finished that collection, and I actually did unbox the last wave of the Indiana Jones Adventure series. So I have I got everything from that collection. I'm disappointed. Wow. I'm sad it's done because it seems like it's done. So
you think so? The one indie, the indie with the one sleeve that's off. That's the one I've been looking for, right?
The Temple of Doom one. Yeah.
But haven't been able to find it. But anyways, you think that that line is over?
I hope not. I really hope not. I minimally hope they do Willie Scott from Temple of Doom.
Oh, that one seems like it would be like a no-brainer, right? Especially because
you would think so, especially because they could probably do a figure with no accessories.
Right. Right, and just freak it out. Oh my god.
I mean, she might have like a fancy outfit. Like, it depends on which outfit you give her, right? Like, if it's the one from the opening scene, or if it's like the white gown from the, but I don't see them doing, I don't see them coming back to that. I hope they do, but they also didn't do anything from Crystal Skull. So I would get those figures if they had them, just to be a completionist on that line, but
yeah. Let's see. Sonny has joined us, but Jonathan is saying, who else can Hasbro make apart from Willie? All the Indiana villains are on the no-no list, but they could make the Shia LaBeouf character and put him in a leather jacket and sell him on a motorcycle.
I'd get it. I would get it.
Young Indiana Jones, they could do all the guys in the cave in their Boy Scout outfits or whatever. They can have
I wouldn't expect them to do the young indie stuff, but yeah.
All right. Mr. B is saying, what? A new lightsaber?
No, shocking.
All right. Let's see. So you know what other line may be coming to an end is like I've been seeing these at Marshall. So this is the LeBron James off of the starting lineup. And I went to like Hasbro's website and I was like starting lineup. And when I clicked on it, it doesn't go to anything starting lineup.
Oh, really?
So did they remove them from their website or am I just not finding them on the website?
Let me look. That would be interesting.
David R is saying hello also. I thought that was kind of weird because the only thing I found was a video for NFL. But then
it's not listed under brands, but if I go to other brands,
it's weird.
Not their shop all products. Wow. Yeah. I wonder if it's just hidden.
I wonder if they just said, hey, let's just quietly be done.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Wait, categories, starting lineup. No. It says no results found, but it shows bestsellers from the line. And it has the basketball hoop, Steph Curry, and LeBron.
I know if you go to the NBA website or the NBA store, you can still find them at their full price, but they've been showing up at Marshall's. And then the cashier told me secretly, she goes, you should go to TJ Maxx because they'll have the same stuff. So I'm looking for a basketball hoop.
Even though the best sellers are including the basketball hoop, they have them listed in the bottom, but they're all sold out, it appears. I wonder if they're on like Fans Edge or
NBA store, I think had the basketball ones.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining like the NFL should be like popping up, right? Like so. But I mean, I haven't seen any announcements.
Were they doing that though?
Well, there was a video for the NFL.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a video showing NFL, and I thought for sure they were going to start announcing some NFL figures, but I wonder if they're just cutting their losses on it because I just don't think it's that good. I mean, it's I wasn't ever going to get them until I saw them at Marshall's. I thought they were pretty cool. This hologram card comes with LeBron. I was able to find LeBron and
on Fans Edge or Fanatics. Which I think is like the actual store that a lot of like places like the NFL, NHL, NBA outsources their official store. They have them in stock for $25. Yeah.
It's really weird. Like I went to go look and it seemed like it disappeared. So I thought that was kind of strange. So it's like secretly they haven't said anything. But anyways, Gerard has joined us. I do want to say this. So next week we're supposed to have David Silva coming on the show. He's from Creative Beast Studios. He's got that new Kickstarter, the Cyberzoic, where it's like dinosaurs and dragons with like tech gear on them. He's gonna, I guess he worked for a couple other toy manufacturers and stuff like that. So he's supposed to come on and talk about like his new line and some toys and stuff. So when we start promoting that, if everybody can help kind of like retweet that or help on social media to get the word out, I'd like to get him a pretty good audience. We'll see. But so that's pretty cool if he shows up.
Real-time ranting.
Yeah, real time. We can ask him all kinds of questions about action figures. So come with your questions, everybody, because think about it. Check out that Cyberzoic. Check out his Creative Beast Studios, and then show up with some questions to ask or some general questions. I'm going to ask him how much product packaging is part of the final cost that you factor in. Like what percentage is product packaging? Because I would like to know that question for other reasons. Anyways, Blue Harvest is saying hello. Hey, Mark. Let's do our HasLab update. So last week, the Marvel HasLab Giant Man was at 5,781 backers. It had 10 days to go last week. And this week, it's got 2 days and probably like 8 hours left. And it's at 6,893. So that's 1,000 backers in a week.
Yeah, I think
So
it's up since then. It's maybe just a little shy of 7,000.
is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it could potentially get a push, but do you think that push is going to be 3,000 backers?
Could be.
Could be,
Could
right?
be. I hope they're successful with the campaign. It would be a shame if, there was another failed campaign.
Right. That would be kind of crazy, right? If this one didn't actually fund, because in the beginning it almost seemed like, yeah, definitely was going to like $199 is a super cool price point for a 24-inch figure. The more I sat on it, though, the more I couldn't justify wanting to have a 24-inch Giant Man at $200. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this would have been something that, like, I would have waited at retail for it to maybe try to go on sale or clearance or find a coupon and maybe try to grab it for like $150 or something like that.
Sure.
But I mean,
I don't think the price is outrageous necessarily, but you have to. I still think you have to really want it.
Yeah, because at this point, if it funds 0 tiers, so you're not getting the extra heads, you're not getting the extra faceplates.
That's okay. Like,
right? Yeah.
I don't see that as a problem. Because I would have been happy I know, just bringing up the Rancor again, I would have been happy if I just got the Rancor. I think it was maybe a little overpriced, but if you really just wanted that item, I would have been happy with it. But
right. Dan, who is not here, is in the chat saying, nope, not for him. We got, let's see. I can see it possibly funding, just can't see any of the tiers. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, right? Like, it's just not going to have the tiers, but it definitely will. Well, I don't know. I think it's probably I would say 50-50, but then, that's just me joking around. I would say they got probably a 90% chance of like getting funded at this point. But I mean, the pictures and everything that they're putting out look pretty cool. I know I've been making fun of it when they were showing how the head faceplates come off. The whole head comes out of that mask, which I didn't expect in the beginning. And I started thinking, if the whole head comes out of the mask, why wouldn't they make like a hair piece or something so that you can have like the unmasked version and, to go along with the extra faces? Because that just seems like that would be super cool for them to do.
Before any of the other alternate heads.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. The Rancor was a little overpriced. That was 200 quid max. The Rancor had a whole bunch of problems, needless to say. They thought it ate a stormtrooper. They didn't want to give you the Rancor Keeper until the very end. They wanted to give you a carded figure of something that they put out at San Diego Comic-Con years before instead of making something new. And then they were going to give you a resculpted Luke Skywalker, which ultimately they gave you anyways.
There were tons of problems with that, but yeah.
So Connor from Foolish Figures, I'm going to order it because it's from Hasbro and franchise, so I feel loyalty bound to, and a franchise. I actually had it ordered.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry, what about the sharks?
What about what sharks?
I don't know about the sharks. Fins up. Somebody will have to like fill me in. But anyways, Blue Sasquatch, yes, it's live. If you were going to ask, Connor from Foolish Figures jumped in. So anyways, the other update we can do would be for Jonathan. Since he's here, we should talk about the Cobra Mothership. Last week, it was at 224 backers. And today, it's at 1,250 backers. So it got 1,000 backers over the week. That's pretty good for like a $500 plastic ship.
Was this a thing back in the day with like retro GI Joe, or?
I don't think so, actually. I think it was like something in the cartoon or the comic books or something like that. I don't actually remember it at all.
If it was a toy in the past,
yeah. Axel 06 saying good evening. But it's it had some pretty good tiers or whatever, but I just don't see it getting to 5,000 or 6,000. I can see potentially it backing. I know somebody personally who's gonna order this, and was super excited when they saw it at the Super 7 store in San Diego. And they said, if that comes up, I'm definitely getting that. I mean, but this is not just $495 because it's like $100 in shipping or whatever, right? But I guess there's a what? Yeah. Oh, it was in the cartoon's intro only, is what Jonathan's saying. So let's see. I think the tiers are a weak way to sell a product, either you include it or not. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think the problem is that they do want to give incentive for additional people to jump on, right? Or once they start making a boatload of money on like one of these crowd funds, it's a way to sort of like throw pennies back at the people who are backing it because they've just made a boatload of money. But they have these plastic parachutes that are part of this early bird, and that ends in about a day and a half. So if you're going to back it and you want the parachutes, now's the time to back that. Anyway.
I wish that I understand the tiered concept and whatnot, but I kind of wish all of these kind of campaigns just got rid of them completely. Just be confident in the product you're pushing and the kind of sales forecasts that you have, right? If you have a cool enough product that is like has enough perceived value, you should be able to sell what you think you should be able to sell. That's
true. Yeah. Let's see. Joseph Bett has also joined in. If I'm missing people, man, you got to help me out a little bit because I'm trying to keep up. But I don't like wearing my glasses when I'm on camera just because it shows my age. Agreed, Mr. B. Tier should only be an extra bonus for the campaigns doing well if it's required to justify the price and the basic offering sucks. Yeah, I agree with that. That is true. And that's why I don't like it when they announce tiers. Right? Like, I think that they shouldn't even tell you what those extra tiers potentially are going to be. I think that it would be the way I always saw it with the HasLab in the beginning was like, hey, we made this crowd fund. We want to get 5,000 people. When 8,000 people started backing it, we realized we're making a lot of money. So we're going to throw something extra in just because of your guys' response.
So as long as they are doing, like these companies are doing tiers in the way that they're doing it, at least with like HasLabs, I would rather they be transparent and upfront with what those tiers are. Like, as long as they're going to do those, I'd rather know upfront what they are than have them hide them unnecessarily, right?
Yeah,
because that to me is playing games with us, and I don't appreciate that. And I think that they, at least Hasbro, did listen to feedback and shared tiers up front with the past couple campaigns, right?
Do you think like they should throw tiers in that are just locked into a campaign though? Or do you think like if they're going to offer a tier, it could be like say they were going to do, I don't know, let's just say that the throne room was a crowd fund, right? So they say, hey, we want to get 5,000 backers for this throne room for the Black Series or whatever. And you're going to get like, you're going to get that thing, the place where Jabba sits down. You're going to get the rock walls. You're going to have all this stuff. We're going to throw in maybe like some minor like creatures. Ways of the Sith is joining us, that type of stuff. And then they say tier 1, if we get this many backers, will be Boba Fett's throne, right? But we are going to sell Boba Fett's throne. We're just going to give it to you guys who backed for free.
Now that would be, so that's an interesting approach too. If you're going to do the tiers,
yes,
that would be a nice way to not lock those extra pieces behind the will of the rest of the market, right?
Right. Like say with this Giant Man, they said, hey, tier 1, we're just going to give you this wasp that we're going to come out with next year. And it's just going to be included on a card for anybody who backs, and we get to this first tier. But for anybody who doesn't back, you're still going to have the opportunity to pay $30 for the wasp on the card.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
so it's basically.
Do it. I agree with you guys there. That's definitely a good way to do it.
That's the first time I've heard about that as an option, and that to me, that's a good idea. So long as they continue with tiers in the kind of way that they're handling things. Yeah, for sure, do that.
I mean, that would have even worked with the Ghost. Like if they would have done that with the Ghost and said, "Hey,
like you said, hey, we're going to give you these carded figures."
Well, even they already said that they're going to release them anyway. But if they would have said, "Hey guys," well, if they would have said, "Hey guys, if you paying the extra $25 on your HasLab, you get them with your Razor with your Ghost instead of
exactly because they made a boatload of money extra when it finally finished. For them to say, hey, we had these figures we're going to release next year. We'll just throw them in and include them in your package because of the response, right? I think that would be super cool. And I think that kind of goes along with their like tagline where fans come first.
And for those items, you could package them up and like you could package them up in a slightly different way that like it's the exact. Well, no, I know, but like if they wanted to protect the campaign pieces, right? Yeah,
just different card backs. That's it.
Right. Slightly different, or it doesn't have the HasLab exact same, except it doesn't have the like HasLab ID or whatever for the number.
Yeah, that's all I would do. I would just the same thing with the Ghost. You're getting those Miro card backs, and you're getting the regular release for the regular release. So it is what it is. It's just like those are separate. That's it.
Yeah, because I think that would be like a super cool way to go. Like and then if it doesn't fund, you're not stuck saying, well, we can't release these because you said you were going to. Like that Ghost Rider thing, they have figures now that they announced for that Ghost Rider that they're kind of stuck in a way, right? Like,
and I really, the only one out of that whole thing I really want is a Madeline Pryor. Like, especially we got Chasm this year with the Spider-Man wave. Now I want a Madeline Pryor to go with him. You know what I mean? That was the one that they were like, oh, she'll never be released on her own because of her outfit. And it's like, come on, guys, you're putting stuff out in stores that's just the same kind of outfit that she's wearing.
Put out who because of the outfit?
Madeline Pryor, Goblin Queen. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like come on. Like she's got a skirt on, she's covered up. It's not like anything's exposed. It's just like, come on. Same thing with Talon. Like I have the Ayla Secura here, right? I'm probably gonna repaint this one to be Darth Talon. But all I'm gonna do is just paint the pants, the skin tone, and there you go. There's Darth Talon. You don't have to do like the super revealing over the top costume. You know what I mean? Right. Did you guys get any of the new waves from Black Series yet or no?
Hold on a second, okay? Hold on. You guys.
Oh, he dipped off. Did you get any of the new Black Series there?
Yeah, well, I got this guy in.
Okay.
I got
Luke. I really like them. I think they did a really good job with both of them. I put them. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. Is my throne room display?
Yeah.
And they're right there. I love the R2 too. My only complaint with it was that you couldn't store all the the previous version, all the accessories like folded back into the R2 with the new one. Okay, and you got the Ahsoka wave. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I got this wave came in stock at GameStop.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you pick that up.
Oh, my Omega is shipping, I think. She'll be here Monday. Yeah.
They really nailed this one, like so much better. And she comes with like the alternate head. I might pick up another one because like I literally so like this was I was talking about this with Bill, Bat 2797 Studios. My whole thing with Hasbro is so like the pictures of the Balin skull came out right yesterday of like the actual Balin skull figure, and
I haven't seen this.
It's smaller than the Magna Guards, and it's smaller than Maroc. And so like Balin's supposed to be a tall figure, and he's literally like a short figure that they produce.
I can see him being smaller than a Magna Guard, but maybe not Maroc. But
so my whole thing with Bill was, okay, if customizers can take your parts of existing figures, right, and put them together and make a more accurate scaled version of that character than Hasbro can themselves, what does that say about like the product team and the design? Because like Omega, for instance, right, that previous version of Omega that came out, I bought a bunch on clearance and I made like 6 new figures with the Omega body, as opposed to like them who have only used this for Omega. You know what I mean?
I think it's a matter of time until they do a little Boba on that, right?
Like I made Little Boba, I made Little Leia, I made Jason Syndulla, I made what's Paz Vizsla's kid? Ragnar.
Yeah.
So like I literally have like 5 different versions of this body, you know, on my display, and Hasbro still has yet to like reuse.
You want to
this
go
brand.
grab them off your shelves and bring them over?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't believe Hasbro didn't do a clever multi-pack with do like Uncle Owen and they should have done 2 3-packs for the Obi-Wan series. They should have had Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, and Little Luke, and then Bale and God, what's the
his wife?
Yeah, I can't. Her name's escaping me, but
To me, that was a no-brainer.
And Little Leia. They should have done those 6 characters as like a multi-pack, because not many people are probably going to go out of their way to, like, the average collector probably isn't going to go out of their way to get like Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, and
no. But if you did it as like a Disney exclusive or something like that, a park exclusive, those are perfect box sets for storage.
Yeah.
You know, Disney exclusives, because it's like, hey, I can knock out, you know, both sides of the Skywalker lineage and the Organas and Luke's family.
Yeah.
And boom,
Breha Organa. I couldn't think of her name.
And like I saw a lot of people trashing on these. I think these are awesome. These Magna Guards too. Like,
yeah, I'm waiting on mine.
He comes with a staff.
They come with actually 2 staffs, which I was surprised about.
Oh, you can give one to your HK.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking they did on purpose, because one is the spiked thing like the HKs use, and then one has like these plastic tips on it that are clear. So like,
interesting. Some figures get all the accessories, and some figures get none.
Well, I think that's why they gave them to you though, for the HKs. Like they were like, hey, we messed up, so let's squeeze in the other staff, you know, with the HKs.
That's where that extra one's going, with the red HK.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that Balin or Shin have hit in the US yet, but I saw some Indian pictures.
Yeah, I only saw the scale picture of Balin, and I was like, man, like I have the parts in front of me here because I was gonna make one, and then they announced him, so I was like, you know what? I don't need to make Balin and Shin. I'll just wait for the release because they're due December 1st, I think. So it's like
February 1st, I think.
GameStop's got them listed for December.
They'll be coming sooner, I think.
Yeah, they definitely will, because you can't plan on any of your pre-orders anymore. I want to say hi to Joseph Bett. He jumped in. Let's see,
so that was my only thing. Is just that, like, when I saw that, I was like, man, now do I buy the kit and put them together? Because everyone was putting Balin together on a Kylo Ren body, because the Kylo Ren bodies were tall. So basically, you just take that, you take the skirt from the Wong Marvel Legend, and then just the kit, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Now I'm kind of torn. It's like, do I cancel the pre-orders and make them myself, or what?
I was just laughing at Connor's comment.
Yeah, I do want to respond to this one. Like Ray saying, like, I'm not here to like crap on Hasbro. Just love their toys. Honest criticism.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and that's show, exactly right? Like what we do is like. Yeah. I'm not trying to put anybody down for anything. I think we're just having like candid conversations about, like, you know, what maybe we might want to do different, or what we would expect a big company to do different, or even
and that's all it is. Because honestly, like, especially with this new wave, I really don't have many criticisms for them on this. I thought this whole wave was fantastic. I absolutely love this new Clone Trooper body.
You got him already? I haven't got. Yeah.
So mine I still have ordered on Amazon, but I found him in a GameStop yesterday, just one. I picked it up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab it, because I'm probably gonna pull this one apart, because like on this new clone body, what's different as opposed to the previous ones where like the armor sculpted on, these are actually rubber overlays now. So you can actually take this figure apart and take the clone armor off, and we happened to get Old Man Rex recently, so I think
you're devaluing your figures according to Super John.
You're gonna make a Rebels version of Rex?
Yeah, with this armor, because then I could take the shoulder pads, because now they do the shoulder pad. All the shoulder pads on the figures now going forward are like the peg into the arm, so you can actually like move the arm up and down, and you're not restricted by it. So like I can literally take the arms out, take these off, and take that rubber overlay off, and then I have another clone helmet. So Rex, boom. I like them though, man. I gotta say, like, I criticize them with repaints after repaints because, in my opinion, like I said, I can take parts of other figures and make new characters without having to do much. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
if I can do that on my own, there's no excuse for them not to be able to say, hey, let's take that same formula that we saw this person use and let's make this character without having to spend a lot of money on it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because Marvel Legends, for instance, like Marvel Legends, they'll use the same buck just repainted 20 times for 20 different characters. You know what I mean?
That's always been like a rub for them, right? Like
Yeah.
like everybody keeps saying like, oh, you know, when are you going to update that body? When are you going to? And they just supposedly updated it, but are they going to start like cranking that one out regularly? Right, the new updated version.
Yeah, and like that's my thing. It's just if we're creative enough to find these parts and put these parts together from different figures that they already have in existence, it's a no-brainer why you shouldn't be either looking at the community and trying to use some of those same formulas that you see people using, especially when it's that simple. But I know for the most part, I think their idea going into this year, especially like based off this clone trooper, based off the new Mando that we saw, that it looks like they're trying to go a little bit of the Marvel Legends route where they're using these rubber overlays instead of like sculpting it on. So then this way they can swap out the parts and reuse the parts to make different figures, which I'm totally for. That's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Like that's something that they should have been doing for a while. But my only gripe is still the accessories. But this wave, like I said, I have no complaints because everybody came with stuff and everybody looks good. I really like it. So I still have to film the review, but I'm waiting on Ahsoka to come. She's supposed to come in like the regular mail today.
Right. So Greedo in a Speedo.
You're talking about Clone Wars Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
people already got heads out for the live action version. You could buy like both ages and then swap it out on those figures.
So Eric probably is, but are you watching Loki at all?
I did end up checking out the episodes. I still didn't watch the third one yet.
So good.
For me, it's not a priority. Like I really don't care about what's happening.
I know, because you're all about Star Wars. You got it in you breathing Star Wars. You just can't get the Star Wars out of your head.
No, it's for me. It's Marvel. Like Kang's not interesting for me. Like even in the comic.
That's the best part about Loki. Like I feel like they're retconning him out.
See, I could see that based off what you said, because just from what I saw about this new episode, it almost looks like, we might be spoiler territory. Like I said, I didn't watch the episode yet, but for Ramona, I think she's going to end up either being like his Sylvie, like his female variant, and like maybe that's how they pass it off on Jonathan Majors.
Well, in the comics, they have a relationship, but then she joins the Kang Corps. And becomes like Kang Nebula or whatever, and then she also becomes somebody else. And I'm just thinking like, it could be a way for them to sort of pass the baton because especially after the end of the last episode where she ends up, she's at the end of time. I have a feeling like that's a key to her maybe being the new sort of villain.
And even Miss Minutes apparently like tells her like, I know a secret about you or something like that. That's what I saw in the breakdown.
Yeah,
because if it's something that I don't really care about, I watch like the new Rockstars breakdown or whatever beforehand.
Sure, but I think like that's the way it's going. I mean, I made that video last week where I was kind of saying like it seems like that's the way they're pointing, and then after this episode, I even think more so.
Yeah, I mean it's like I said.
The thing is, he's been easily defeated twice, so I don't think that he can be the main villain like a Thanos, right? Like, so it has to be more than that. So I'm almost thinking that it's like maybe it's going to be multiple variants of Kang or something like that, or maybe this is all just smoke and mirrors, and ultimately we're going to have a different actual villain, which he's going to cause to like come out.
Could be. And I know originally that was the plan, was a bunch of, the ones we saw at the end of Ant-Man,
Yeah.
Immortus, and all those.
That's the part that cracks me up, is like, it seemed like if you looked at Loki, right, when he was trapped in that, where with all the other Lokis,
Mhm.
not one of them looked like him, but all of the Kangs
That's not
looked
true.
like him.
Yeah. I don't know. I that I can forgive. That doesn't matter to me. It's just the fact of, like,
Oh, there was one. There was
There was
one.
there was the President Loki or whatever.
Yeah, that did look like him. But what I'm saying is, I didn't see in any of those shots of Kang with all the variants there being any like
different ones.
Yeah,
but that doesn't, like I said, that doesn't matter to me. The thing that matters to me is, like, with Kang, even in the comic books, all the stories tend to go in like a big roundabout loop because time's involved. So it's always like a cat and dog chase. That's just like, all right. But it gets so repetitive after a while where, like, I don't care anymore. It's just like, if you really want to stop Kang, go back in time, kill Nathaniel Richards, and be done with it. And that's it.
Like, no, you can't. Look,
well, they might not be saying King is actually related,
right?
Anymore.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
But that is the biggest.
I'm talking about from the
time
comic
travel flaw that we learned is not possible in the Terminator series. It's not possible to go back and stop it. The future will always unravel.
I think the Loki series is just amazing. It's mind-boggling to me how it's mind-boggling how you can get a show like Loki right after Secret Invasion.
Right? It's like just amazing. Like,
that's true. I can give you that.
I
can give you that.
Two completely opposites.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you, Eric.
But you know what is on top of how good Loki is, I am so thrilled about Gen V. That show is amazing.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
I heard it was really good. I still don't have Prime, so I never. I've only seen like episodes of The Boys, but I've read the comic book, and I heard that I watched heavy spoilers reviews of.
You got to read this.
What did he say? Does Waze
think the whole time thing in Loki is ridiculous as the world between worlds?
No, because number one, we can go in that whole thing. Connor doesn't want to open a box of worms and have me talking about Ahsoka for the next 20 minutes.
We're not going to. I'll put you on mute.
My whole thing is just the overall like Kang thing. I don't mind what they're doing in Loki. Like Loki, I understand where they're going with it and how they're doing it, which is fine. I'm interested to see like where it goes and how it's going to tie into everything else. I'm talking about the comic book Kang of like the same repetitive story. Like he's been in Venom for the past probably 6 months now, and literally the book's gone nowhere because it's literally just back to the same starting point over and over.
What's interesting is, do you read any of like the Avengers and those comics from like the 60s and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have like the almanac.
So it's like, to me, I feel like, because newer stories are like kind of different, from the old. So it's like,
no, I know what you mean.
Things if they meld like the storylines together, maybe you avoid that. But like most time travel shows are built around this whole being repetitive. Did you see remember this show called Timeless?
No.
I don't know if you guys saw it. There was like an orb and it traveled through time, and then this special group had stolen the time travel machine. So then this good team supposedly was using the prototype to go stop them from doing what they were doing. And it was this whole thing about how they got set in motion because somebody came back in time and they had people back in time as their secret operatives. It was like kind of crazy and only lasted like 2 seasons.
That's probably why though, because that's what I mean. Like those times
built on itself. Right?
I think with everything that they've tried to do with Justice League, with Marvel, like I'm over all the time travel shit. Like, can we just do something? I know Secret Wars is coming, and like that's going to be the big thing. I'm not a fan of I forget who wrote the last Secret Wars, but I'm not the biggest fan of the story because it gets very muddled and confusing. So like they're going to have to streamline it for people when they do it in movie form.
Did they make another superhero Secret Wars, or are you talking about the original 12 issue?
No. I'm talking about the last Secret Wars, because that's what they're doing in the MCU. Is that Secret Wars? They're not doing like the original 1960s version of it.
You mean the 80s version?
80s version of it.
I know you want to think that everything in the 80s was like the 60s to you, but I'm not that old.
You know what I mean? It's not the old one. They're doing like they've already started it with the incursions and the melding of the multiverses. Okay. And that's what I think it was it Matt Fraction or was it I can't think of the other guy. Oh, Jonathan Hickman, I think, was the one that did the last Secret Wars. And it's you had to read all these other books and like the Illuminati book and everything because there was things going in, and then like it all culminates. It was a great run of Avengers, like the way he started it with this little dropping pebbles along the way for you to follow, and then finally like took it off into the story. But it gets very, very confusing.
All right, yeah. So I would just say Wars in name only, according to Jonathan. Nothing to do with it. It says Secret Wars in name only. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's just to like draw somebody like me in who goes, wait a minute, that's not what happened.
I would just say reserve judgment on Loki until you get caught up because the last episode is so good.
And like I said, I watched the heavy spoilers on it already, so like I know what happens and how it went and like all the Easter eggs and stuff. I'll watch it. I just completely forgot that. I keep forgetting that it's on. Honestly, like that's
apparently that Kang dude. He's the one that created Marty McFly's jacket from Back to the Future too.
And the shoes.
Just kidding. What about Werewolf by Night? Just came out in color. Anybody watched it yet?
I will.
No, I like the first one. I like the black and white. I know. Yeah.
I'm just curious if it's piquing anybody's interest. In the chat, I wonder if anybody's interested. I started watching like the intro just because I wanted to see if it looked like
different in color.
And it does look kind of cool in color, so I think I am going to sit through it.
Well, because they shot it in color and just converted to black and white.
Yeah.
I've seen Werewolf by Night 2 or 3 times already, but I just want to watch it in color to better appreciate the like set design.
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed when they were showing like the backgrounds on the intro. You know how they were coming into like the room. Mm-hmm. It was like I was like noticing a whole bunch more detail than I did in the black and white.
Oh yeah, definitely, and probably a lot more Easter eggs too.
What?
So you already watched it, Vern?
I watched like the first 3 minutes of it just to kind of see if I was going to be interested. But it was like about a half hour before I came upstairs to jump on the computer. So, I do want to do the shout out of the week.
So before we start shout out of the week, I think Marvel should do more Werewolf by Night stuff. Like as opposed to launching these shows and full blown series, do more hour and a half one shots. Like I don't know. That to me that's a much better idea.
Let me look this up really quick.
Part of the problem is just I'm with you on that 100%. I think the problem is just logistics with that, right? Like if you're paying a whole bunch of people, you might as well get more out of it to produce more content.
But if you're not getting more so what's been said about all of these Marvel shows lately is they're going into these Marvel shows without any plan whatsoever or a finished script. They're just shooting stuff and saying, "Oh, we'll put it together in post." So if that's your approach, why are you not just, hey, we'll do a one shot and just call it a day? We'll make an hour. We'll sum up this story.
It's like a one shot.
And it was great. And it's just it's like let's sum up the story. Let's not drag it out for 8 episodes or 6 episodes and have nothing happen the whole entire series.
I think they could do more of this
and call it a day.
I think they could hopefully next year they'll do another Halloween type special where they do another Werewolf by Night. But I wanted to point this out.
You got Agatha next year.
Mondo Shop came out with this poster, which is a limited run. I think there's only 160 available or whatever. Let's see. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 165. This is based on a cover. They actually credit the cover artist. It's a 4-color screen print. At 36 by 24 or something like that. Yeah, 36 or 24 by 36. So it's one of the covers. Issue 12 of Werewolf by Night. I think these posters are really, really cool, by the way. I don't have anything to do. I'm not making any money from them, nothing like that. I just think that Mondo, they do these really cool posters, and I thought I'd throw that up there because it's still available, which is kind of cool. And then cool. I'll just flip this around.
We were talking about Mondo.
Mondo poster right there.
I don't have any Mondo stuff or like anything like that, but I know Alex and them are doing fantastic work on those 1/6 X-Men animated and Spider-Man stuff.
I think the posters are super cool. I got like a Back to the Future poster, and that was James Flame, and he did two versions. They have a 1955 and then the 1986 version or whatever, where he's in front of Twin Pines Mall, and then he's in front of like the downtown, like the city street.
Okay.
The two versions are really cool. I only have one of them framed though. The other one's rolled. A lot of people like the Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. It wasn't. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do more of that and less of these stupid series that like with characters, if you just want to introduce a character and get it done, do it that way and move on to something new.
That actor is in some wrestling movie on Prime that I want to check out.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've heard about that.
Nope, haven't yet.
What the Von Erich one with Zac Efron?
No.
All right.
That looks good. Iron Claw.
Shout out of the week. So those of you watching probably already know who this is. Let's see. It's Captain America. So this is Josh. We used to do that other Points of Articulation. I did want to point out his Instagram. Give him a follow. I think he takes some really cool action figure photos. He's also a writer, contributor to Biff Bam Pop, so you can check out his stuff over there. I think he's really creative, and he's really into like 3D printing and stuff like that. But it's Cap 10 America. The 10 is written in numbers, and I just threw off a couple of his pictures. I thought this one was really cool. I do like that old first Avengers.
Cap, yeah, and Peggy.
Yeah,
he tries to do like a pick a day, which is cool. I wish we got to talk to him more or see him more. I always invite him on and hope that he does, if he's watching, that he does come on, because he's, you know, we miss him. He was a big part of our community like a year or two ago. Yeah.
So I just wanted to point him out. I thought this was really cool too. This is that Street Fighter. So he takes his pictures and he's trying to do different stuff with them. So I think it's really kind of cool. So if you guys are not already, check him out. It's Josh at Cap 10 America. And then he's got his link to Biff Bam Pop and stuff like that. So you can check out the articles and stuff that he's writing.
Josh is the man.
Yeah, definitely is. Like I said, I've invited him on. I know you have too, Vern. So hopefully.
Well, he'll come around. I mean, like, I know he's just busy and stuff like that, right? So.
Yeah.
Dino keeps wanting me to point out that he's like doesn't fall asleep or does fall asleep or something.
So
like
where
that.
is he? Why isn't he here? If he's
you know, he's got some excuse. He'll be here at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Last week he showed up though. Last week he popped in.
Let's see, Yak Bat. It's all right. It wasn't a big fan of the black and white version. Yeah, they have a color version, so you should check that out. See if it's any better.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I like that. I've been watching Chucky on Peacock. I've been getting caught up on that series.
Oh, I wanna start season 2 of Wolf Like Me or something like that.
I was gonna ask if you were watching that.
Yeah, the first season was really good, and the second season looks like it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's Josh Gad and the redhead girl from Wedding Crashers. It's like she's a werewolf and they're in like a relationship.
You're giving it away?
Well, I'm just saying the plot. That's what it is. That's like I didn't watch the series. I just saw like the trailer yesterday for it. But I've been watching Chucky. I forgot that like he's from New Jersey, so it's mad funny to me seeing like places that I know in the show.
Oh, is that where it's done up there?
Yeah, like that. So like they're trying to make New Jersey now like East Coast Hollywood. Netflix is coming over here and building a studio. They cleared a whole lot for Paramount on Bayonne, so it's interesting. Like they're trying to make a push over here. I guess because it's cheaper for them to shoot.
It's weird how like I when I realized where they actually film stuff, because like Stallone filmed in Vancouver. Oklahoma or whatever, and then somebody else was filmed. Oh, Frasier is actually filmed in like Boston.
Oh, really? It's not
and
Washington.
I'm like,
whatever.
Yeah. And everything's inside of a set. So it's weird, like thinking like, really, that's not filmed in Hollywood, or that's not filmed in like New York or something. That's actually, they film in like Boston, right? Like, because it says, you know, when you go to IMDb, I was like filming location Boston, because I imagine like they just film in a set down there at Universal or Paramount or whatever,
And call it a day.
Then they realize like, wait, they're actually filming. But I wonder if it's because other states give better incentives to shows.
Yeah, and a lot of times they get kickbacks too. They get like I forget what movie it was, something that just shot like overseas. If you shoot in like England or different countries, some countries actually give you subsidiaries back to the studio. So like if you shoot your movie and you're spending say 62 million to film this movie, right?
Okay.
You make like 30 million back just from that country because of the way it all like breaks down and works. They almost pay you to be there because you're providing jobs for people to work.
Yep.
It's like it's a weird like exchange that way.
All right. Okay. Since you mentioned England, here's a new segment for the show. So don't say anything, right? When I put this up on the screen, I'm going to say this to everybody in the chat. When I put this word up on the screen, tell me what you think it is.
Okay.
Wherever you're from, and we'll just see the difference. The first thing you think about when I put this word on the screen, you guys hold it to yourself until people start like ringing in, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about it. It's just something, you know, because I'm, you know, I got a weird sense of humor. Okay, ready?
All right.
Yeah, we know that.
You
Okay.
guys thinking about it? Like, what's the first thing you think of? Hello, people in the UK. Let's hear what you have to say. I'm just curious, you know, at this point, like, what is everybody gonna think?
I've learned quite a lot from our overseas friends, Connor and Brian. They teach me all kinds of things, and then I say them in my everyday life, and people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What's it? Okay, Eric, what is the first thing you thought of when I put this up?
Shoes, but I don't use
Okay,
trainer to call them shoes. Yeah.
All right. And Waze, what do you think when you think trainer?
I think like personal trainer.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I thought. So Eric's along the lines of probably most of the people over in the UK are over there because
Eric's a football fan. That's why.
What?
Eric's a football fan, so he's he's into all the slang and the terms because he watches it all the time.
So Jonathan, first one, he says Nikes. Of course, Connor's thinking about like Waze, and he actually says Yoda. Joseph, that is probably got a wild dog because he's saying his dog. He's got a train.
Okay.
Then, Connor's like Nike makes runners. Yeah. Okay. So Geek Strong, he's thinking about himself.
Adult diapers.
Nike makes trainers. So the idea of that was, I guess this is like a word that's used differently in the US than it is kind of like in Europe or in the UK or whatever. So typically, I guess that's a common word to refer to shoes or running shoes or workout shoes or something over there. Now I've heard that expression here, right? I've heard them called like, oh, I'm going to wear my trainers or whatever. But I don't think of it like that. When I hear the word trainer, I do think of like the person that's hanging out down at the gym trying to teach you how to do like weights. I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny.
Trying to bang your wife or all the single girls. That's
So it's funny because COVID changed a lot of stuff because I used to have a YMCA, but I don't do that anymore just because, they were closed for so long. You just have to find alternatives. And I know a bunch of people that I work with, they just converted their garages to like little mini gyms, and they just work out at home now. And now what they do is they like invite all their friends over. Like they're going to hang out at the gym, but they just hang out in somebody's garage, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that makes sense. I need to do something along those lines and start working out. I'm getting to that age now where like I don't lose weight like I used to. So like I eat and like it doesn't go anywhere anymore. Like before it would be gone no problem. Now it's like, all right, I gotta start doing something.
Right. Let's see, hold on. Cassandra?
Yeah, Cassandra was the movie I was thinking about with Gael Garcia Bernal. The guy, Werewolf by Night.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he plays a wrestler like in Texas or something. Yeah.
Has anybody seen the show on Stars, the wrestling show with the guy that was on the Arrow?
Yeah, Heels.
Is it any good?
Yeah, the first season was all right. CM Punk's in it too, and it just came back for the second season. I don't have Stars though to watch it anymore.
Oh, okay. Connor is saying if anybody invites him over to work in their personal private gym, he's 100% making me suspicious of their intentions.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get sweaty.
That's a weird thing to ask somebody to do. Like, oh, come hang out my gym for what?
So this is kind of getting to be the season for like conventions and stuff again, right? Like, does it seem like there's been a lot more toy shows or conventions popping up all over the place, or is it just like does it just seem like there's something every week?
I don't know. There's like it just depends, I think, on what area you live in. Because like by me, there's really not much. But if you're like in Florida, there's stuff literally like every other couple months.
Seems like it. They're always saying, "Oh, I went to some toy show. I went to this. I went to that." Yeah. But it seemed to me that like, okay, Emerald City Comic Con was up in Oregon. You're going to have like LA Comic Con. I know they just had something recently. And then I just feel like they're just rolling out these conventions again.
Yeah, and then like, you know, it goes from pretty much October to June. And then like that, those are where all the big cons are. Like you get, the old Wizard Worlds. What are they called now? They got a different name to them. But
all right.
Yeah.
So I was looking around for the reveals for the week, and this is the kind of the stuff that I was able to find. So let's just go through those and see what happens. So I saw this. Does anybody know what this is? Because I just saw this post, and it was like testing the Dark Wolf sample at the coffee table.
Doesn't it look like
now?
Conan?
Have you guys seen any of this?
It looks like a Conan.
Right? It does look like kind of like a Conan or something similar like that. But I mean, like he looks a little bit too tan to be like Conan, right?
I guess maybe. No,
it is definitely like
look at those. I don't think I've seen an action figure with defined quadriceps like that. That's like anatomically accurate. That's interesting.
Or Mythic Legions, maybe. I don't know. I don't collect any of those like other lines. I don't know. So
Jonathan says Dark Wolf looks awesome. It's from Frank Frazetta Painting.
Okay. I mean, I just saw this. I thought, man, that thing looks really cool. And then I saw the 5K toys on there and Big Bad. So I guess this is a little bit better because I know that there's some stuff on 5K that you can't get on Big Bad yet. But this is probably 5K was probably the first to start carrying the lines. But I guess the whole shebang if you're in the UK. So, but they look really cool. I mean, it looks cool, right? I might be interested in like looking at something like this. I don't pick up all these like other lines. So like, really,
it's fun to grab something here and there just because like just to see how other stuff is.
Yeah.
You know
I would have loved to I don't know if you guys saw NECA did the Scream Ghostface exclusive for New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I remember we were showing that off. Did you pick that up?
No, I would have loved to. I saw it in my comic shop the other day, but my comic shop already knew like it sold out, so he like doubled the price, and it was like almost $100. And I was like, man, get out of it. Like I would have loved that though. That would have been a great like thing to pick up from NECA. I don't really have much NECA stuff. I only have
Fire and Ice. So. Yak Bat saying you guys never watched Fire and Ice. I wanted that wolf figure his whole life. So this is okay. I get it. That's that was in the 60s ways. The 80s,
right.
I think the 80s, what you call the 60s or something like that. No, I don't know what year it was. Just messing around. And then this is Diamond Select. I don't really collect any Diamond Selects anymore.
No, but these are awesome. They've been really doing a great job with these.
Yeah, the wings are incredible on this guy. I mean, like, this is totally
So he's supposed to be in the X-Men 97 show. So I'm hoping that we get an X-Men 97 version of this because I really like this is one I would really, really like in X-Men 97.
Is there any update on when the heck that's coming out?
It got pushed to the spring of 2024. So we'll get it sometime. But it's already like it's done and ready to go. They just pushed everything back. Same thing with Bad Batch. Season 3 of Bad Batch is done, ready to go. It's just we don't know when it's coming or
Mm.
what's going to happen.
Right.
I did hear an interesting thing though that perhaps Ray Stevenson doesn't need to be recast because he might have already shot stuff if they're included in Skeleton Crew. So that's an interesting tidbit
Okay.
to think about.
We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah,
All right. What about Hiya Toys? I guess
that's cool looking. These are the 3.75 ones, or is this the
I
112?
think so. It's like a deluxe. I don't know if Hiya makes like a 6-inch figure, but I mean, I think that they're the 3.75, and that's a lot of detail for a small figure.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're really cool. I'm not into anything in the smaller line.
Yeah. And Eric's a
looks
no,
good,
right?
though.
You don't collect any of
He
this.
looks
No.
he looks just like the classified version, which is cool. Like
Who is this?
Well, the face is
Hey,
very different, which is kind of nice. I like it. This is 4 inches. Yeah, Jonathan saying it's 4 inches. Seems
yeah.
like Jonathan knows more about action figures and stuff than we do.
Jono's a good one, man. I like Jono a lot. He argues with me and stuff, but I like Jono a lot.
Jonathan, when are you going to come on and teach us about action figures?
Yeah, he's always welcome.
The 7-inch vinyl caped Dracula.
That's cool.
And he glows in the dark. Because we all know that Dracula glows in the dark.
That is
Especially
cool.
his hands. I think glow in the dark figures are really cool and stuff like that. And if he really glows like this vividly, he would be like super cool to have. But for some reason, I just feel like this is a total enhancement.
Yeah, it's just probably a repaint, or redeco. He said, when you invite me. So you're invited, Jono. Anytime.
You're invited. You are invited. We gotta. All right. So, Dracula. Anybody getting the 7-inch Dracula glow in the dark? No. Okay. What about this wasp? Was everybody super happy with the pointed-headed wasp figure?
Yeah, it looks really good. And I don't know if were you able to grab the picture I shared yesterday of Dwight that Dwight posted with the giant man?
Oh, with the giant man and the wasp like hanging out together, like they were best buddies or whatever.
Well, it's him like holding her up by the wings and like.
Oh, I saw the one where she was like laying against his face or something like that.
Yeah. There's a couple of them he took. It looks good, but like we were saying, this would have been a no-brainer to include with the giant man. Like I think including this with the giant man would have done a lot as an incentive.
So I have a question about the pictures that Dwight's posting, and he will never come on this show, by the way, to answer it. But I'm curious, do you think he was allowed to take and post his own pictures, or do you think they had to get the Shooting the Galaxy guy to come over and take the pictures for him to post?
Those are all prototypes. So that's Dwight taking his own personal pictures and posting.
I don't know. He the Shooting Galaxy took pictures with the prototype giant man.
Yeah, but that was a painted prototype, wasn't it?
I don't know. Yeah. This is a 1/6 scale sideshow. Or who's collecting sideshow toys? It's so quiet up here.
Yeah. It looks cool, but yeah.
I mean, it's really neat. Let's see. Yakbat saying, I wanted an Avengers lineup with a giant man, but the 90s version. Not sure many collectors want 60s eras Avengers.
Yeah, he makes a good point. That would have been smart to do with the 40th anniversary, was to do like a vintage line and a modern line of the characters, because I like what they did with Black Widow, where they gave you basically all the eras of Black Widow, and then it's up to you to pick and choose which version you're going to display. I think doing more of that in Marvel Legends is a smarter move, where like, hey, we're going to give you this iteration, and this iteration, and then you can kind of pick and choose and make it which one you want.
Yeah, so you see how Jonathan's saying the Wasp figure could have originally been part of the Giant Man HasLab because the timing seems weird. They came out with all these these great Earth's mightiest heroes, so I think that Wasp was totally intended to be part of that.
And that's why she wasn't part of the HasLab. And
then they probably timed the release to be with the HasLab because they thought those would go together. Yeah. But at this point, I'm wondering if they said, hey, if we fund, we're just going to include the Wasp figure to any backer, right?
Yeah,
I wonder if that would like then make people who might want a Wasp go ahead and back, knowing they would just get the 2 figures.
I don't know. My guess is they probably just excluded it because they wanted to keep the cost down.
They went well, I think they excluded it honestly because they fear that it wouldn't fund, and then there would be no way to put the Wasp out.
Well, they basically said they didn't want to put figures locked behind paywalls, so that was their choice on the team. So, I mean, I can understand, but then they announced that they are going to continue the celebration into next year. So, like, this Earth's Mightiest Heroes wave is going to continue now for next year as well.
Yeah. Yakbat was saying earlier that he's not sure how many collectors would want the 60s era Avengers. And I'll just walk back over on my poster again because, that's the Avengers that.
Yeah, but like Yeah,
but he's saying he's not sure how many, right?
But to counter your point, like the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero cartoon that was on, I would love like definitive versions of all those versions of the Avengers. Like that wouldn't be a bad way to, like the more modern look of Cap, the more modern look of these. But I guess like that's kind of what they've been sprinkling in with some of the other waves. So
yeah,
I think
it's the same for me because like with that West Coast Avengers, that 80s, right? Like that's I picked up the first West Coast Avengers. That's why, if you saw my video, that's why I was like saying Iron Man, but who was Jim Rhodes at the time, but in the regular Iron Man suit, and Wonder Man and Hawkeye and Mockingbird and Tigra would have been the 5-pack that I thought would have been the excellent 5-pack for the West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, let's move on. Here is the SH Figure Arts, Indiana Jones.
I was tempted. I've never gotten any of the SH Figure Arts, but I was tempted with this, but I got all the the Adventure Series figures, so I'm just like, probably don't need it.
Yeah. But the thing is, it looks really cool, and it seems like this could potentially have just been the only Indiana Jones you would have needed because he's got the leather jacket. Then you don't have to put the jacket on, right?
Comes with the monkey. Comes with everything.
Yeah, the hat comes off. So it's versatile, and probably the whip is posable or whatever, and then he's got the idol, he's got his backpack, the gun will probably go into the holster will probably close like it's supposed to.
I'm looking forward to the Adventure Series hitting ollies because being that they're the same, essentially they're Black Series figures. I
don't see them in stores.
I don't see them in stores either, but apparently if you look out in the Midwest, they were clearancing them down to like $4 a piece because they had so many of them. So like distribution.
I'm in the Midwest, but they
never hit here. But I'm looking forward to them hitting ollies because they're going to make for great like custom parts and stuff like that.
Oh, sure. Like when they started clearancing at Target, I was able to pick up a couple of the original indie versions, right? The ones. It seemed like they weren't anywhere, but at my Target, they were like plentiful, and then they clearanced them all. So I ended up with like, I think 3 of the first standard indie. And
I was only able to snag the girl from the newer movie. I don't know, Alexa or whatever.
I know who you're talking about. Shaw.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah. That was the only one I was able to snag for and she was like down to $4, and that was the only one they had.
She was a good figure.
Yeah, I picked her up for parts because I figured I could use her to make a more updated Kira. So like that's what I was
thinking. Yeah. Connor says he's in for this one, so I'm gonna wait for his review and see how good it is, and then be sorry I didn't pick one up.
Yeah, because that's the thing with some of these figure arts, you're better off like if you're on the fence, you might as well just order it because then if not, some of these like something like this will probably be gone, and then it'll be super expensive on the secondhand market.
Right. Brian Myers is saying hello to everybody. Connor is saying it's not dropped payment yet, so he's watching his Amazon Japan.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, that's the indie. And then, of course, did you see this Transformers Megatron? This is a 3-0 and man, it looks really kind of
Oh,
cool.
that looks cool.
Yeah, that does look cool.
The comic book edition. So all of you Transformers fans, how many are going to jump right on?
Well, now even if you're a GI Joe fan, you're gonna have to get, like, for me, for instance, I need to get brushed up on Transformers. I don't know much about it, so like they're gonna be part of the comic.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying with the comics, the comics now, it's all gonna be one universe with the Energon universe
Mhm.
under Skybound, which drops next month, I think, in November. So it's
Right.
gonna be interesting, like from my standpoint, because I think Jonathan recommended watching the Cybertron series on Netflix, and I checked that out, and I thought that
It was
was
all
cool
right.
because it actually like gave you the history and the story behind it. So like I got more of that than I did with like some of the live action movies. But
Oh yeah,
I like the new one though. Rise of the Beast was pretty cool. I watched
it was
that.
it was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
I was
So
not
have you seen-
expecting the end of that. I only watched that like last weekend or something. I was not expecting them to bleed into the other universe. I'm not going to spoil it if someone hasn't seen it, but yeah.
Oh yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm interested to see like how they're gonna approach this with everything being under one kind of umbrella. So it's gonna be fun to like learn, I guess, more about Transformers that I don't know. You know what I mean? From them being involved with the GI Joes and Cobra and stuff like that, and how they're gonna actually blend it and like mesh it together.
Well, next up, they'll have crossovers with other properties like Magic the Gathering and and what was it, like My Little Pony and whatever else. The
So it's
Hasbro
interesting because
Cinematic Universe.
I've been seeing the Transformers at Ross out here for like $5, and I'm so tempted to get a bunch of them just because I haven't picked one of them up, but so tempted.
And you were a Transformers guy, right? Like you grew up watching that.
Not necessarily. I mean, like I read some of the comics and stuff like that, right? But like when I was a kid, I never had a Transformers because I think when my parents decided, they got me, it was a GoBot. You know what I mean? I think I had like one or two GoBots or something.
So you were vengeful that you got the knockoff.
I remember growing up watching some of the original Transformers cartoons.
Yeah,
never never the whole. I don't think I ever caught the whole series as a kid, but I watched some and I had some of the like random toys I'd get for like Christmas and birthdays and whatever.
Yeah.
But Beast Wars was my thing. That was
you were into Beast Wars.
Oh, I love Beast Wars.
Those shows.
You gotta remember, like
a lead into what I watched. You know what I mean? Like they were on early enough where like if I woke up and saw it, it was on. But I was waiting for the shows after it. I was waiting for XMen. I was waiting for Spider-Man and Power Rangers and
I think for me with Transformers is because I watched Robotech and I loved those ships that would, the Veritechs that would like go from the jet to the half robot to the full robot. Like I feel like I always wanted those. And I think that's one of the things that never sold me on the Transformers because they didn't really have that, and I wanted that. And that Scott Bernard on his motorcycle, the Cyclone that would turn, form the robot over him and stuff like that. That's what I always wanted.
I like the self-transforming ones. They're super expensive, obviously. They look really cool though. I'm interested though to see like being that now, all right, that they're gonna merge them with GI Joe and it's all gonna be one universe. Are they gonna do a different line of Transformers that maybe scale with classifieds, you think? You know what I mean? Like
no, they did those Transformers that scaled with the 3.75 inch, right? They did the
well, that's what I'm saying. But
I don't think they're going to do anything.
Maybe they'll do anything that scales with classifieds. That would be interesting.
Like,
especially
those would have to be huge, though. If they scale with classified,
I was thinking like, what if they did it where, all right, so for like the Thunder Machine, for instance, like that Lenny keeps teasing, what if like you incorporate the Transformers that way, where they're actually like the vehicles for the classified line? Like,
yeah, but can you imagine what would the price point have to be?
Well, that would be the whole thing. Yeah. I'm just saying that's a cool way to. I was trying to think from a standpoint of like, all right, they're doing this, they want to incorporate all this. What if people want to now? All right, I'm a classified collector. I want to have a couple of Transformers with them. What
The
what
only
do I
way
do?
you're going to get a Transformers GI Joe classified vehicle is if somebody like Ramen Toys decides to do something like that.
Yeah, or
that
like do it as a HasLab or something like that. Because that's how I'm expecting that they're probably going to incorporate them even in the comics. Is like, all right, some of those crazy, wacky vehicles that we've seen in like the comic books or like Cobra using and stuff are probably going to be Transformers now. You know what I mean? Or like made from the Energon or whatever the case may be. Like that's what they're powered on, which would make sense. Like as opposed to just being like, oh, they're jet propulsion, you know, something over the top.
All right. What about 3-0 Duke?
This is cool. This is big though, right? This is 1/6, or is
Yeah,
it?
I think it's a 1/6 scale.
Okay.
I would like to see those vehicles. Does he come with the vehicles? Or are they going to produce those? Especially that flaming helicopter or whatever he's jumping from.
Explode included.
Yeah,
Explosion included, right?
maybe it's a backdrop.
12-inch max. I mean, these are cool because I mean, if you collected like 12-inch GI Joes like I did, this is kind of cool to see. Like something that's Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Jonathan's saying this is 6-inch, and so is Connor. They're saying it's a 112.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's 112 then.
So this is like the Destro that came out recently.
Yeah. But I mean, it would be cool if they came out again with like a 12-inch line to me. But I mean, I think it looks really cool.
Didn't they say that, like, I think a lot of people are anticipating at least 1 or 2 12-inch guys for the announcement next week, because they did the introduction with classifieds, how they're doing the anniversary ones that are going to pay homage to them. But I think a lot of people were expecting, because of that 60th anniversary or whatever, that they were going to do at least 1 12-inch one.
All right. Well, we'll see if they do any 12-inch releases for that. Because I thought what they were going to do is just release classified figures matching what it would have looked like in a 12-inch scale. Like,
and that's what I said. They already showed those off. So like, I'm expecting like
no
60th anniversary.
So what they did was they showed modern interpretations of those original 12-inch figures. What I want is for them to take a 12-inch like Adventure Team dude
and
just scale it down to 6 inches.
But I think that's what they were trying to do with those modern ones. It was like a blend of both. They gave you a lot of the accessories and wardrobe.
I want like my Adventure Team.
Heavy
dude, but I want him in a 6-inch scale with
the
same hair pattern, scar.
I'm sure they probably will. I'm sure they probably will. Do you guys have any like big predictions for the 1027 event? Like, is there something maybe something you guys want to see the most out of, like, them announce or show off or put up for pre-order, whatever it is?
Were you here last week? Weren't we talking about that?
We did a little bit, but we didn't put out like a must, like, we were just talking about when it was coming and what we maybe.
I think we all predicted what it was going to be. It was there was the prediction of the Stay Puft.
We were only talking about the Ghostbusters though. That we weren't talking about the whole event. We were only talking about Ghostbusters.
Wait a minute. So this 1027 isn't just limited to a Ghostbuster? I mean, a Ghostbusters thing?
No, it's the 1027 event like they did last year, where it's all the teams.
It's a mini PulseCon.
It's a mini PulseCon. It's their anniversary.
Time. I'm not even going to waste my time watching that. Star Wars is going to come out, and they're going to like
they'll probably show off the holocron.
They're going to pipeline Jedi Luke Skywalker, I guess. And a Jawa.
I think classified series we're getting Junkyard and Mutt and Quick Kick in that wave. I think that wave will go up.
They already announced those.
Yeah, they announced them, but they're not up for pre-order yet. So I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see in-hand looks of those.
Quick Kick was just a render. You think that they already have him production ready?
Yeah, I think we're going to get pre-orders for that.
I think he's next year for sure.
I'm sure he probably comes out next year, but I think we're getting pre-orders this week.
I think we're not going to get a pre-order for Quick Kick until December.
No, I think that's going to be the announcement, is Junkyard, that whole wave of classifieds, and I'm hoping for some Boca figures from Black Series, but
I honestly thought that 1027 was basically just Ghostbusters. But anyways, what about this? No. This is the Reveltech. Anybody interested in Reveltech?
No.
All right. I think it's too late for this, in a way, for these MCU Winter Soldiers and stuff like that. I mean, if they weren't cranking these
'cause
out,
they already put out like the ultimate Bucky already came out recently, so it's like you
I'm
really
just
don't.
like, I mean, I don't even think that Hasbro was able to sell like all of their Winter Soldier figures, right?
Well, yeah, he's in games. Ollie's right now.
Yeah, so he wasn't even so I think this is a bad move by these guys. I don't know how long it takes them
the
to come
Van
up,
too is the other one, I think, Vern, and
to come up with a figure. Yeah, that's what I think. I think you're going to see vehicles at the 1027. But what about this? This is the Stranger Things Masters of the Universe.
So what did Motu decided? Hey, it's not selling in stores. We're going to pull it from all these stores, but then we're going to sign all these exclusive license to do Stranger Things and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Motu stuff. Like,
yeah, I just wonder, is this Stranger Things just too late?
Yeah, well, it's still coming. There's still the final season of it, and that's what everyone's talking about with like David Harbour and his schedule is like he's got 2 things coming up where he's got to do 2 different performances in a very drastic appearance. So it's like, all right, how's he going to film these things once the strike goes up? Where like you have to do this role and this role at the same exact time and shoot both these things to get them done.
Well, I think the Stranger Things. I think Netflix probably has a formula to like get their filming done quickly, so they can run him through their filming fairly quickly. Yeah. And because a lot of that's going to be post-production for like whatever. So that's my guess. But I just think like this is an interesting thing. I just thinking like, I don't know how timely latching on to Stranger Things. I just see a bunch of Stranger Things stuff just hanging out in the stores.
Well, even all that Stranger Things turtle stuff is still sitting there, and I don't think many people were interested in it. If they did like actual 6-inch figures like that weren't those weird like statue figures and weren't, you know, Playmates. If they did like an actual 6-inch line, like I probably would have picked up the David Harbour because I could have used that. You know what I mean?
They did in the beginning come out with those. They were 7-inch figures. There was a
McFarlane, right? Yeah.
And the Harbour was actually pretty cool in the deputy outfit and stuff like that. And all like, those figures were actually really neat. They just weren't made very well, you know, like the articulation is like the Back to the Future figures and stuff like that. They just weren't that good.
Yeah, they're like statues, and like the last ones that came out are like sitting in Ollie's right now for like $3.
So you guys are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. So what do you think about the Turtles of Grayskull?
I'm not a Motu fan. I don't know much about Motu. I don't care honestly about this. It's cool, I guess. I saw like a bunch of Motu people losing their minds over it. Like, oh, this is awesome. Da 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 da. I know Aaron in our group chat, TF fan, like he was really in on these. But for me, it's not.
Yeah, I have no affinity to Motu.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, you don't have to have an affinity for Motu to have an affinity for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I know, but I like Ninja Turtles, but I'm not into turtles so much where I'm willing to get like every single expression of anything turtles.
But you can open that guy's stomach right there.
And I think it's we should probably say too, these are not like mashups of characters like previous versions. These are actually like if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles characters were in Eternia, and there's going to be a comic
because
book.
Look at them here. I mean, they're kind of cool in a way.
They are cool. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm not. I have no attachment to Motu, and me and Eric. I'm in the same boat. I don't need everything turtles. I want one set of NECA turtles, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's good. You know,
I'm waiting on my turtle van. God, I see people getting them online, and I'm like,
Can you imagine? The turtle van in Eternia is going to be like a flying van. Everybody's like, hard pass. These aren't as cool as I thought.
I mean, they look cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't care about Motu at all. I have no attachment to it. I like the Kevin Smith one that everybody hated. I thought that was actually better than like this, but.
All right. What about the today? I found this picture of the new Wonder Woman
cool.
from McFarlane.
Really cool. I I happened to see the animated Batman figures again today, and I would have picked them all up if they were $20. But the fact that they're
Yeah.
$30, I left them all
Each?
sitting on the shelf. Yeah.
I think that movie version with like the Batgirl and stuff like that's going to come up for pre-order early November. As well.
Yeah, and their regular price ones, I probably will pick up the Batgirl and Ivy. But I really wanted that animated lot. Like I wanted to pick up the Batman and the Robin, and they're $30 a piece, and it's just like, man, I can't spend that on 4 figures that like just to build a figure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good.
All right. Well, those were all of the things that I saw. So I did pick up Mutant Mayhem figures.
Yeah. I
all right.
grabbed that.
So let's
What
get
is
back to that 1027 you wanted to talk about now that we've done the actual like reveal portion of the show. So you're saying that 1027 is not just the Ghostbusters, because that's what I thought it was.
No, it's all the brands in small presentations. It's basically like they did last year, where it'll be like an hour and a half YouTube live stream. It'll be a quick little presentation from all the different brands and just a new set of stuff for pre-orders.
Oh, I do have an idea for Black Series. Since it leaked, they're going to reveal Kiadi Mundi.
Well, yeah, because he was teased for 2024, and I think he's going to be in the Balin wave. So, like, literally, I think they come out December 1st. My guess is, Kiali Mundi's probably going to be going up for pre-order for Black.
But people have that Shin, right? Are you talking about the Shin and the Balin?
Yeah.
They have that Shin in hand picture. So is that going to be like super quick?
They're coming December 1st.
Yeah, but I think they're going to be.
They'll probably get moved up, but yeah, the GameStop. So GameStop's been getting stuff in first lately a lot of the times, and like all their dates have been spot on. So if like you're ever questioning dates, you look on GameStop and you'll be able to.
Yeah, the original time frame for Balin and Shin were February 1st.
Yeah, on Amazon and stuff. But if you look at GameStop, like I said, they have them listed.
With how other products have been shipping, I have no doubt those will come early too.
Yeah, they hammered us, and that's why like I'm not even mad with keeping some of the Joe stuff on pre-order on Amazon. Like did you get your you finished off your Power Rangers, right?
Yeah, I mentioned that early on. That set is done. Yeah.
See, mine still didn't come from Amazon yet. They're still listed as December 8th or whatever, even though I've seen them in GameStops already. Like, I could buy them in person, but you know what? I was like, you know what? You guys can come in December. I'm fine with it. Like, I'm fine not spending that money right now because of everything else that hit.
Yeah.
So it's weird. And then like Buzzer got pushed back on Amazon to December now, even though people already have them in hand from Big Bad Toy Store. So it's weird how the distribution's going. I think because of what happened last year, where a lot of these smaller companies like Big Bad Toy Store and all them, they were getting stuff last and losing a lot of money, which put a lot of those companies out of business last year. I think Hasbro tried to do something different this year where like, all right, GameStop and these other smaller companies are going to get the stuff first. Then it'll go to Amazon will be the last one now to get stuff, is what it seems like, in my opinion, from certain things.
I'm going back to the Ghostbusters thing. I know that the theory is that it's going to be a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but
I think it's a 1-to-1 scale Slimer.
Slimer would be cool. I don't know why they didn't do a Slimer.
I think it's going to be like a prop size Slimer.
Yeah, he thinks it's going to be a big one.
Maybe
like
glows in the dark or has like some sort of embedded lighting system to make them like light up. Just because the last Hasbro, and I think it's probably going to be, they're going to announce it as a HasLab, because this HasLab has ended. It's next week. So they have been consistently launching a HasLab within 5 days of the previous HasLab closing.
I think that would be I think if anything, it's going to be Stay Puft Marshmallow.
I think that's a very safe bet, but I just feel like because that Proton Pack was so successful, and that the Ghostbusters props have been way more successful in my mind than the figures.
Yeah,
a prop is way more of the way that they should go.
I hope
I know-
they do
I
a
know Ryan-
PKE meter and a ghost trap. That's what I want because I have the
but
proton pack.
That's what
I just
Ryan
those
to
as the
Dan Ryan.
HasLab. You know what I mean? Like the trap. That's not a HasLab in my mind. That's not a dream project.
That is, though.
I don't disagree. I just want them to make it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I see that as like because the gun part of the proton pack was just sold on their site. So I
Yeah.
think that the trap should just be like a prop piece that
Yeah.
they make.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I
but
want
if-
to think that like
If they're doing it as like part of the next movie, though, I could definitely see it being packaged as a HasLab, like they did with the proton pack, where it
yeah,
comes
that-
in the trunk. You get the journal, you get all this extra stuff
Sure.
with it. I can see that.
but the Slimer has been in like every film, right?
Yeah, but
and
they didn't even do a
prop
6-inch version of him, though. Like they didn't even do a 6-inch version
Yeah.
of him for the new
The
figures. Like,
plasma
Yeah,
series. Yeah.
That's why, because they're saving it for this 1-to-1 scale.
I don't
Slimer.
think so. And even if it was, I don't think it would, because you're talking probably like a good $500 piece for a 1/1 scale Slimer that lights up. Like, I don't think so.
Well, it's not going to be $500. It's going to be $350.
Yeah, I don't even think they could do it at that price if it glows.
Yeah, but the thing is,
sound
I'm
effects,
not a
everything.
Ghostbusters collector. I don't collect the props and stuff like that. So, Steve-O just jumped in.
I only
couldn't
grabbed,
tell you what I would get from Ghostbusters. That's the problem.
Yeah, I only grabbed the 4 of them because they were at Ollie's, and I was able to put the whole team together for less than $20. So like,
Yeah,
that's
and
what I did.
I'm still missing a couple of them. I don't have them all.
I actually have like just this is pivoting to a different topic, but Vern, do us all a favor and share your screen and go to Shop Disney. I'm not sure if you've seen this or if anyone's seen this, but you all have to see this.
All right, what are we building the suspense for? What are we?
No,
have to...
I'm not gonna say it. You just
Oh,
have
I know
to
what
see
you're
it.
talking about.
Just,
I know what you're
just-
talking about.
If you
The
do, just hold
$500
it.
the $500 item.
Yeah.
It's nightmare fuel. It's nightmare. I saw that and I was like, if you're gonna put that in your house and wake up to that in the morning, you are gonna at 3 o'clock in the morning. You get up to go to the bathroom.
All right.
Okay,
So I'm at Shop Disney.
So go to Star Wars, new and trending, just up in the upper left corner. New and trending. The first, yeah, and then new, yeah, all new items.
Oh, click on all new
Yeah,
items.
well, under new and trending, it has like a sub menu.
Oh, well, you gotta. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta specify
So
that.
Star
Eric.
Wars, Star Wars, in our stories, Star Wars. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Scroll down. I wonder if it's up here. Keep going. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that. Click on that.
Yeah, a $500 Wicket the Ewok plush.
It's
That's
like
3
a
feet
3.
tall.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's available now.
Yeah, because it's $500, Vern.
Well, how much do you want it to be?
Like
Like,
3
look at
feet,
that.
one.
Oh my God,
That-
no!
I would be more tempted to get it if the face was like.
If it actually like
Better.
looked like Wicket and not like you shot an Ewok and stuffed it and put it in your room.
This is
it
Wicked.
showing up on the screen, or is it not showing up?
No, it shows up.
Yeah, it's there.
What, so I
This is
scrolled-
this is Wicked on a bender.
Yeah, like this is him on a lot of spice. This is Spice Bear right here. Like this is him after snorting a bunch of spice and just like.
You know what happened is like my browser has once again
Ran out of memory or something.
Yeah, this
Crash.
Right.
Okay, hold on, I'll be right back.
So like what would be your one thing, Eric, that you think like, all right, this is because you said something about Star Wars Black Series, like something that you think they would announce for Pulse.
For 1027, I said
Yeah.
I think they're finally going to get to putting up Kiadi Mundi. It's to me that's the easiest kind of slam dunk.
Yeah, I think he's going to be part of that Balin wave. Like I said, I would expect him to be with that Balin wave, and they get him out right away. Right away.
I don't think they're going to reveal that much because it's like a quicker kind of event. So I don't know.
We'll probably get like two, 3 pre-orders maybe for Black Series, because like we do still have the rest of that Mando wave, I think, right? Or has that all been revealed now? The new Mandalorian.
I don't know what's in what wave because there are multiple waves,
and they keep pushing everything off.
Can I make a statement about that Wicket since I dropped out?
Yeah.
Okay. We used to have this snowman, and it was all like dressed in clothes or whatever, but it was like a snowman or whatever, and it was a little bit taller than me, and it stood on like a little wood platform, and I think it had like a metal bar in it and stuff like that, and it had like framing, I think, for the body or whatever. I remember I picked it up in a secondhand, so like Goodwill or something, for probably like $30, but it was originally like a $400 or $500 decoration piece. That's what that Wicket reminds me of. Like one of those things that you put in the entryway of your house or whatever.
Yeah, but like Chris, our friend in the group chat, he actually has 3 life-size Ewoks, like that actually look like real Ewoks. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he paid $500 a piece for each one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is, like, they could have made that a little bit more realistic. That Ewok, it could have had a little bit more realism to it for $500.
Yes. $400 or $500. That's what me and Eric are saying. It looks like he's all like shot out, and it's just like I wouldn't.
I mean, like, how much is that? How much is that Yoda? It's $200 at the animatronic. But
the Home Depot thing.
But that thing really doesn't have any body to it. It has like a little rubber body under the clothes a little bit, but not really. And it's mostly just like the metal pegs. I went to Home Depot. They have it on display.
You saw it in person?
Yeah, and I was like checking it out and stuff like that, and like seeing like what it was made of. I tried to take some video of it, and I'll try to post that maybe or something like that.
Yeah, I'd want to see that.
Yeah.
But for $200, it's still $200 more than I want to spend for that thing, or $100.
I kind of want to get it.
Yoda's perfect.
I kind of want to get it because it's so weird.
It's creepy, dude.
But, no, I know it looks creepy.
And then the eyes are like,
well, it's more like it's like a Yoda Gollum hybrid. That's what
it's just weird.
The eyes are just so wrong. Yeah.
And when he's talking, it doesn't make the expression. It's just the mouth opening and closing, kind of. So, yeah. And then the eye. So it's not like really matching. It just looks weird. Yeah. Joseph saying, get it on clearance. That's if it's still there, right? Like I noticed like a lot of that stuff has just been moving in and out.
Wait for after the holidays. You'll be able to get it on a sale or even like Black Friday.
All right. Let me pull this back up because I'm going to take it down really quick. I just wanted to, because it closed out when I left the stream. But
okay.
I think I have to do an update on my computer probably. What's going on? If you pay $500 for that Ewok, you deserve to be slapped, is what somebody said. Eric's watching like a game, I think, at the same time, because he did that same excited, like getting the screen thing. I've only done that once in my life, by the way, during a sporting event that I was watching, where I got super excited about what was happening. And it was during the Olympics, and it was a relay. And after the third leg of the race, after the third swimmer, they were still like, I think, a quarter of the way behind. A quarter of one of the
like Michael Phelps.
Yes, and it was Michael Phelps swimming that
against the Australians.
It was like 2:00 in the morning. I stayed up so I could watch the relay.
This was the one in China.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I have a personal affinity because I used to swim. I played water polo, so I used to swim that 400 freestyle, and I think it was just real. It was like one of the coolest things to watch that come back and then watch him get it.
Yeah.
Yak Bat saying I can only watch sports that I can't play.
I like this logic though. Female soccer, female.
Which you can play if you just identify.
So what's everybody got coming up this week? Anything?
I did film LeBron James and the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
What was that, Eric? You held up.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still in the minority of the people that haven't bought PS5s yet. So by,
Oh,
by the
I
time
haven't. Who can
by the
afford
time
that?
I do, by the time I do, the 6 will be out. So
Well, I think they're coming out with like the slim
Slim.
one or something. Yeah.
and it's like $100 cheaper. So that's probably where I'll end up picking one up. It'll just depend on
Yeah.
fun stuff like that. I did
I
see the Spider-Man one today though.
I probably won't play this for God knows how long though. Probably not until like Thanksgiving because I'm just so busy.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Yeah, that it looked like a lot of fun. I know a bunch of people that we're friends with were rocking out on it yesterday and saying a lot of good things. So it looks cool.
yeah.
Wait, is that like a light or is that like some sort of a 3D thing? That Star Wars logo? What is that behind you on the wall?
Looks like a
Yeah,
light,
it's the light, the Star Wars light.
decoration.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. It's from I forget who makes it, but they're like $20. You could get them in Hobby Lobby and on Amazon. Actually, Gerard Kane was the one who had it first, and I saw it in his display and asked him where he
Okay.
found it.
I haven't
and
seen
then-
that one. I did see his picture of it. So is that at Hobby Lobby? You're saying?
Yeah, they had them at Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance, so I actually bought one for like my room. I have one on display in my room, and then I picked up a second one when I saw it on clearance. So I
Okay.
put one in this room too. Yeah,
All right. I'm
yeah.
trying to.
It's just a little light. It's got two little things in the back, so you could put like two thumbtacks or nails and just hang it if you wanted to, or you could just put it on something. The only thing that sucks is the cord's not long, so like you can only put it like maybe chest high onto something from the outlet. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Only thing.
Um,
I'm probably
that
gonna
was
put
weird.
another shelf though behind me. So like I have this little shelf behind me. I'm probably gonna get another one of those like Walmart bookcases and put that there.
Do you have a window up there too?
No, not behind me. It's in front of me.
Would you have any problem? I'm just curious to know for like space. Would any of you have any problem putting like a shelving unit in front of a window?
Yes.
No. If you needed space, like I would recommend like a calyx where light would still get through. You know what I mean? That doesn't have a back to it. Because then, yeah, if you're gonna put it in front of a window, you'll still get light shining through, but then you'll be able to still display your stuff. I mean,
All right.
it just depends on space. Like I had to actually put my desk. That's why my view turned in my room because I actually have half of my desk in front of the window now. Because
I was just curious because like
I freed up a bunch of space in the room, so like it was a no-brainer. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Gap says shelving unit in front of a window is a fire hazard, but I'm like thinking like, okay, like in this room, I have 2 exterior walls and there's windows on both walls. The cool thing is on this wall, they're just like these skinny windows. So you can actually fit something between them. But I almost thought if I shelved this whole wall, it would cover up these 2 windows.
So
are you talking about like building shelves on the wall and putting?
No, I'm talking about like
putting something that covers
shelving units next to each other. So this whole wall is just like shelving units. The problem is I'd be in front of these windows. I don't like the idea, but
see what you'd be best doing then would be getting a calyx, like maybe the 54-inch one, and putting it under the window. It would just be.
I'm thinking I could do like a shelf here, maybe a lower piece here, and then a higher piece, and then a lower piece, and then just go.
You could build it.
The wall.
Yeah, you could build it yourself out of the calyxes. You just have to get the measurements and pick the right calyxes to build it. It would be easy because that's what Dude did. Dude has something similar where he built different. He bought different size calyxes and then put them together to fit his walls and the way his walls measured out.
All right. I was just curious because like I do have a big window on that wall which wouldn't be covered, and that's like these little ones. There's really no way to climb out of that window because the house is like straight all the way down, and this is the second story. So if I went out, that would be a pretty long drop right onto like either of
that might kill you faster
or my air conditioning unit. This one right here is one that you can easily get out of, and there's like a little balcony piece outside, and then you can easily jump over to the lower roof that overhangs like my porch or whatever. So
yeah, I wouldn't necessarily block out the windows, but like I said, if you did a calyx unit where it was under the windows, you still have the top of the calyx where you can display stuff on top of that as well. So like you'd be fine doing something like that underneath those windows.
Yeah, it's like these ones, like it would be so hard to like climb out of, but that one definitely I would never block. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
it's just a
I
thought. I
did-
probably never do it just because I like the lighting aspect of opening your window.
Yeah. All right. Well, my phone is literally about to go. It's got nothing left. So I
All
will
right.
talk to you guys.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, and I do need to talk to you about next week. So if you can hang out,
I'll try.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Matt, we're really sorry to hear about your friend in the 3rd grade. That sucks, man. Yeah, okay. I won't do the window just because of that. But anyways, I do want to thank everybody for joining us once again with the Toy Duo. I know we're gonna wrap it up. It's gonna be under 2 hours this week. Unless you guys have more stuff you want to keep talking about. Does Waze want to talk about Ahsoka again?
No, I won't.
Right.
I won't hold everybody up.
All right. I do want to say that thanks to everybody in the chat who stopped by. Thanks for all of your comments and participating in the conversation. I think that's kind of like one of the best parts of the show is to get everybody's opinions and stuff like that. I do want to throw this out there that next week we are going to have David Silva from Creative Bee Studios on the show talking about his Cyberzoic and what's going on with that and about making action figures. So bring your questions, everybody. And we'll see you next time on the Toy Duo.
See you guys.
Each week I do a countdown, and I promise I'm going to have a theme song.
Toys, 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 manly toys,
He's still going, Vern.
toys, 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 toys.